So you know how in isekai anime the main character gets reincarnated into another fantasy world, which is usually an MMO game, but then there were so many of them that people got bored and they added a subgenre where the main character has cheats. Well, I have my fantasy world. My cheats are basically me knowing how to program and automating games. So the last thing is just that I get hit by a truck and reincarnate. But what are the odds of that happening? Ah, here we go. When it comes to the class, obviously I'm gonna go for mage, that's not even a question. And look how cool this is, they made it work with just plugins and a texture pack. I'm playing vanilla right now, I don't have any mods. And you know it's gonna be a good MMO experience when you start in the back of a carriage, just like in Skyrim, and the first thing you see is a guy all chatting in Chinese. Just like all the great MMOs. Now let's get through the tutorial real quick.
Hey bro, watch your jet. Watch your jet, bro. Watch your jet.
Oh, no way I have a meteor. This is not power of your creation. Well, that was disappointing, but I am level 1 to be fair. And now I finished the tutorial. And why is that guy tweaking? I don't know if he's like thanking God for passing the tutorial or if he's like schizophrenic and talking to the shadows, but oh well.
I'm the best programmer on earth. That's why God chose me.
Okay, now we got to the first city. First I'm gonna do progression and then I'm gonna do some programming later on. And now I'm off to the wilderness to do some quests. Apparently you can do gathering in this game, so that's gonna be pretty fun to automate. This is me 2 weeks later. It was not fun to automate. I can't really get into the cool stuff yet because I'm too low level, so I need to level up with quests first. I wanted to automate killing zombies and level up that way, but it looks like they give really low XP, so I'd rather just do quest for now. I need to find an energy mushroom. I'm guessing this is it. Get away from me, what is that? Ah, don't you just love it when the sun shines with shaders? Too bad most people left by now and Too bad most people left by now and they only got to see the gloomy part. Now I have some skill points. There's attack, crit, spell damage, defense, and dodge. And just like Expedition 33, I'm going full damage. This is because I want to be the greatest mage this world has ever seen. And I can use my, magical power to cast a ton of spells per second, so I need the highest spell damage and mana that I possibly can. And also defense is for women, children, and Linux users. Sheesh, this looks cool. This area is full of zombies and might be a good way for me to level up. So I was thinking I could either make some sort of entity aimbot and just let my character sit in the center and hit them, or I can just scan the entities, calculate their speed and distance, and then cast a meteor right as they're about to hit me and clear all of them. Now, unfortunately, this game is actually fun, so it doesn't force you to do very long redundant tasks, which I definitely wasn't going to automate. So I guess I'm just gonna explore and do quests for a while. Cook's assistant? Oh hell no, RuneScape, you gotta sue them for that one. I plead the fifth. Currently I'm doing quests and then turning the chest into items, selling the ones that I don't need and keeping the upgrades, in this case I need level 5, and then repeating. That way I get better gear and I level up as well. And this guy's carrying a key, and now I got the key. Speak to Mayor Alvin in Alekin. What is he, like a chipmunk or something? Wait a minute, you're not a chipmunk, you're black. Loot boxes, here we go again. Although I have to say the server is really not paid to win, and pretty much everything I've seen that's paid is just cosmetic, so that's pretty cool. Tomorrow I'm gonna have a new Skyblock video, by the way. I unlocked teleportation, so this is gonna make traveling so much easier. Now this was my first of many instances of quests being bugged. I'm supposed to find the blockage, which I did, and I looked around the entire dungeon for about half an hour to find a way to solve it, but there was nothing. And the wiki said that there was supposed to be an NPC in the dungeon, but there wasn't because he was glitched. And these guys were having the same issue. Even though I really like this server, I feel like sometimes the quests are programmed by the same people that made the League client. My condolences if you ever had to use the League client. And now it's time to put that key to use because I finally found the dungeon. They're pretty straightforward. You just clear an area, go to the next one, repeat, end up at the boss, kill the boss, get their rewards, trade them in for dungeon items. Then you continue with other quests or dungeons. And just like 50 Cent, I got the magic stick, which does double the damage of the old one. Oh my god. It's Sona from League of Legends. Then after listening to this guy's dialogue at world record pace, I made a realization. The people that write dialogue and quests for MMORPG games have to be the worst writers I've ever seen. It actually takes a certain amount of skill to be this boring and make everybody so uninterested in your story. Come on, don't pretend like when you played Genshin you didn't pull this move. And just like Abraham Lincoln, I freed the cows and I put them on Noah's Ark. Off to Brazil you go. Drink the obsidian potion and jump through the borehole. Which one could be the borehole? Could it be this one indicated by the quest marker, which is a hole? Or could it be this lava pool? Well, it was not the lava pool. Then instead of doing the very rewarding quests that are right next to me, I decided to go for this dungeon, which was clearly noted as very hard for my level, and casually run for 2 kilometers and cross the 7 seas with the rationality that I would just outplay the boss. I did no damage and got one shot. Although, while I was doing the boss, I realized I need to cast a lot of spells, so why don't I just automate spellcasting? So that's exactly what I did, and I certainly didn't just skip like 10 hours of gameplay. Yeah, these videos are really compressed. You see like 5 hours of progress in 2 minutes. So here are my current spells. Right, left for Asteroid, which I can also spam until I run out of mana. Right, left for Ice Snake. And if I do damage to enemies, it goes into my mana bank, and I can use right to get some mana. I'm gonna be using Mindscript again and automating stuff with Python. Now, because I don't feel like clicking 10 million times, I'm just gonna automate the spellcasting. Minecraft runs at 20 ticks per second, command, and I can only cast one action per tick. This means that the fastest I can cast a spell is 3 ticks, which is 150 milliseconds. Now let's compare the speed between me and my script. When I do it casually, it's 40 frames, when I try to do it a bit faster, it's 36 frames, and whenever the script does it, it's 31 frames. Here it is in real time. While I could try to do it really fast and cast them as fast as my script, it's kind of annoying when I need to cast 20 different spells and I can't mess up a single click. So I added the spells and I made them tick perfect, and then I did a combo that would use multiple spells, but then I didn't really like the combo system because it was just using too many abilities when I didn't need to, so I added a hotkey system. Now I just press one of my side buttons and it perfectly casts an entire spell for me. But I was running out of mana, so I made it count my casts, and now every 3 spells it's gonna cast mana. Then I added a timer that would reset after 10 seconds because it means I'm out of combat and my mana is already full. The problem is that my mana spell takes mana from the mana bank, and the mana bank only gets mana if I hit enemies. So if I cast a spell but it doesn't land in time or it doesn't do enough damage, I don't really get mana. I'm not exactly sure what the mana or the mana bank actually is in Minecraft. I would have assumed it's something like a mana bar or scoreboard, but I looked through every single option I had client-side through Minecraft and I just couldn't find anything that correlated with mana. It took over an hour, it was not fun. Then I went for pixel scanning, and after losing my mind for about 20 minutes trying to get Pyoto GUI to work with Minecraft, my plan was to scan for the bar and to see if it's active, and if it is, how full it is by just using pixel scanning. The problem is that many forms of pixel scanning just break on full screen, and if I don't run Minecraft on full screen, then it doesn't look good on my monitor and then it annoys me. But then I just put mana on middle click and I did it manually because it's better that way anyway. And now there was just one more thing. A lot of times something is chasing me and I have to look down Meteor and then keep walking. So I just made something that would only look down for 1 tick so it wouldn't really interrupt me while I'm running, and then I made it hotkey based. So now it looks something like this, it's way faster. Then I played the game as intended for a while, just with my hotkey method that would make spellcasting a bit easier. It's just a really cool free-to-play game where doing this sort of stuff doesn't even make your experience better, and it's why I wouldn't recommend it. But people seem to hate funny gameplay and they just absolutely love Minecraft cheating, so I went out of my way to find the single most tedious task that this game had to offer, which was gathering resources. It's so unenjoyable that the devs made it fully optional. Apparently people don't enjoy clicking on an ore, waiting and having their pickaxe break down, and then repeating that for many hours. Haha, so you know exactly what I'm going to be doing. So you want to do the same stuff that I'm doing without spending years learning how to program. Or you're a dev and you want to make your life easier. Well, CodeBuff is supposed to help you do that, but I've never used it, so let me give it a try. I'm going to give it a relatively difficult task, which is to find a target block around the player and then aim at it. It did look up the Minecraft docs, which is what I told it to do, but more surprisingly, it actually read my own scripts. So basically it used the stuff that I programmed in the past to get an understanding of how stuff works and what I wanted to do. It looks like it's reviewing its own code before it gives me the final version to make sure that everything works. And even though all of this took a while, I'm surprised that it worked the first time. Usually with these sorts of coding agents, you have to do it time and time again because they always have some sort of error, especially with Minecraft. So let's give it something a bit harder. I'll make it so that it will make my bow shot always land on the block by calculating arrow physics. This is also faster than Claude Code and you can move your subscription over cost-free. It definitely looks like it's very thorough and it's going through a lot of checks before it gives me the final code. There we go, let's see. Wow, okay, I mean that's a very complicated task that I gave it, so I'm really surprised that it managed to do it first time without any sort of error. You can try this for free yourself, and if you want to get extra credits, then use my code in the description. So the first step is to make my script understand how to find the position of these copper blocks so I can actually look at them and click them. It looks like after I click them, the server takes over with animations and custom HP bars and durability and whatnot, so I'm assuming that they're just using target stands for entities and they have custom plugins for everything. I tried to look at one and use get targeted entity, but it said none. And when I tried get targeted block, it would say barrier, but it wouldn't always correspond to the right height. So I had to write an entity scanner that would get me the position of the copper blocks. The problem is that there's a lot of entities on the server, so I needed to filter through all of this non-specific information to determine which ones the copper blocks were. So I kept scanning and I couldn't find something like copper or block ID or some name that would be useful. But then I noticed that they had base64 encoded textures, so I just decoded them to see what the textures look like. So it looks like they're just using player skins to represent the ore itself, so I can just associate the texture with the ore that I'm looking for and then search by texture. This is such a nice moment in programming where something doesn't work for so long and then all of a sudden you get the first thing to work properly and then everything else just falls into place. This printing out copper meant that it identified copper ores around me. So then all I had to do was get the position and tell my character to look at that position so I can test it. And now look at how wonderful it looks. So basically now I can scan, track and look at the ores. All I have to do is tell it to left click and I basically made a mining bot. Now let's make this more efficient. Do dungeon, get crypt fragments, trade them in for a better pickaxe, spend 15 minutes getting to the mining area, be 6 HP away from a generational crash out, find the mining spot and now it's time to get cooking. The server doesn't really have the best anti-cheat because, well, It's just very fun to play normally and cheating doesn't really get you anything. Well, unless you're a YouTuber and you have to choose between doing that or drama content to get views and you still have a little bit of self-respect left. But anyway, the anti-cheat isn't that good, so I can just keep blinking on the blocks like this, but I don't want to do it in a completely shameless way, so I'm gonna integrate some smooth looking. I'm pretty much just gonna copy the code that I made for Hypixel Skyblock for mining and fishing that I showed in this video. I can't reach every single ore in my scan range at once. Look at the ore, check if I'm in range, if not, keep staring at it while holding W, reach it, left click. So that way I can put my character in a general area and then it's gonna take care of the rest by just going to every single ore one by one. Then I'm gonna combine that with the smooth looking script and now the mining is pretty much finished. Now I'm gonna deposit all of this gold that I worked really hard for and hope that Trump doesn't appoint another one of his And now it's time to prepare. You're going the wrong way. And now it's time to prepare for a very long expedition because we're gonna start mining sandstone and improving the mining script. And now we finally got to the Sunset Plateau. Look at how cool this looks. Some of you might have noticed that this massive canyon was inspired by a real life location. Can you guess what it is? Come on, Americans have to know this one. That's right, it's the Eiffel Tower in Germany. It does take a while to get here and it's really annoying to navigate because of all of the terrain, but it is cool and it's a very good area for mining. And here we are, the sandstone mining area. And now it's time for the final mining component. These ores take quite a while to regenerate and it's just not worth to sit in one area and to wait for them. So ideally you would move around and mine every ore. You know what that means? I have to make a movement script. Now, while I could scan every single block around me and make a map for my character to walk and create a whole pathfinding system that would actually make sense, I'm not spending a whole day doing that for 20 seconds of content. So I'm gonna find a simple, stupid, and goofy workaround method that actually works, and I'm gonna have fun with that.
Who cares how much work you put into it? It's the end result that matters.
And also I have the added benefit of triggering those no-life C devs that take the fun out of programming and are complete elitists. Enjoy your aneurysm, no-life Albert. Okay, let's figure out the plan and get to prototyping. Oh, this is the world that I used in the Skywars video when I was making like the bridging script. That's pretty cool. So here's the situation. I have two locations that have ores. I need to get in the position that can mine every ore and run the mining script, and then move to the other location and repeat. So how do I walk to the other location? If I were in a super flat world, I could just scan my coordinates and compare them to the location I want to get to, but if you change the terrain, it gets more complicated. So what's the single easiest thing for me to do? So I could look at a block that's a bit higher than the block that I want to get to, and I can use MineScript to constantly look at it. And I noticed that the closer I get to the block, the higher my camera goes. And then I remember that I can scan the camera orientation. So I can get the Y value, which corresponds to how high I'm looking. And if I have my camera locked to a block that is 2 blocks higher than where I'm trying to get, the closer I'll get, the higher my camera angle will be. So all I have to do is just keep staring at the block, get closer, and scan my camera angle. When it passed a certain value, I know that I'm going to be under the block, or close enough to it. So I can use this to center my character exactly where I want it every single time. Then once I'm on that block, I can look at a specific angle or block and then use my teleportation spell. This way I can consistently move between point A and point B every time. Move to the base spot, center the camera, teleport over here, teleport again, mine this, go over there, start mining this one, go over there, repeat. When it comes to monsters, I could scan my HP and if anything hits me, I just meteor under myself, or I just play a notification so I can tab into the game, but I didn't really have any issues with mobs, so I don't think that's necessary. And now the mining script is actually complete. This area looks so cool though. So I went to the city to repair my pickaxe and I kinda got lost on my way back. It should be up there though. No way I'm one teleport short. Okay, I mean at least I didn't die, so it's not that bad. Now that I'm 10 levels higher, it's finally time to get revenge on that cow. It's gonna be a lot easier this... Oh well, I'm not spending 10 minutes getting back there. Oh boy, a desert quest line, I can't wait. It's not like the desert is the worst area out of any MMO. Okay, I might be in a bit of a bad mood because the next 10 hours of gameplay were absolutely miserable, and literally just watching the recordings of what happened actually made me mad just thinking about it. I have like PTSD from the creeper quest, and also my premiere crashed like 15 times. Well, at least the water looks nice, but it's just shaders. The water always looks nice. Okay, let's do a dungeon, the Timeless Sanctum. So there's a bunch of different rooms that I had to do and it took quite a while, and then I was given one quest, survive. And survive I did until it told me that the door is not actually the door and I need to find another exit. And while I was looking around for it, I died. And even better, it was because my teleport was glitching out and casting Meteor instead. The even funnier part is that it happened again right after. And then I did a bunch of quests that were so bad that it made me wish I was watching cybersecurity grifters instead. Then it was time for round 3 with the cow, in which I came 11 HP away from taking a literal bite out of my monitor. And after all that struggle, I got nothing. Apparently it doesn't give you rewards. So let's talk about the creeper quest incident. So I was supposed to give this guy the creeper skin, which I was supposed to get the first time I fell on the tree, but it glitched and I didn't see the item. So then I spent about half an hour looking for it. I gave up, came back a bit later, looked at the wiki, found out that it was actually on the tree, got up there, got it, and gave it to him. And my misery has just begun. And I was supposed to get a pigman hide, pretty simple. But keep in mind, I already recorded all day, I was very tired, and I was watching the IT crowd on my second monitor. So I killed one and I couldn't find the hide, and then I killed another one and I got this ivory, but still no hide. So then I killed a bunch more and still there was no hide. So I decided to relog, go back in, still no hide, restart the quest, still no hide, teleport back to spawn, run all the way back, still no hide. And then I checked my loot pouch, there wasn't any hide there. I looked at my inventory, there wasn't any hide there. So clearly there was no hide. Apparently the leather in my inventory was the hide and I had 16 of them by now. That's not even the end, it gets even worse. I tried to find my way back to the village for about 10 minutes and I just kept failing. Then I finally found the village, I continued, now I can get rid of this hide and just clear up my inventory a bit. Then I found the guy that's supposed to sell me a creeper mask so I can continue the quest. And then apparently I don't have enough funds. Why don't I have enough funds? Because I need to buy it with the hide I just threw away. Now that I have the mask, this creeper will follow me and I need to take him back to spawn. It looks like the cave leads to a dead end. Okay, let's go back the way we came from. And the creeper's not here. What happened? Well, he got stuck. Quite a few times actually. So let me get him out of there. This was an incredibly slow process, but eventually I got him out of there. Now let's get him back to the guy. And he's stuck. That's lovely. And now he's just spin botting for some reason. Okay. He was stuck for a while. I tried to get him fixed. It didn't work. After a long time, I kind of moved him, but he was still stuck. Okay, I relogged. I restarted the quest. The creeper was gone, so I had to go all the way back and get him again. Amazing. This time don't get stuck. And he got stuck. Come on, just stop it. After far too long, I finally got him back to the guy exactly as the quest asked. Why isn't this working? No, but like I can't handle this right now. I literally brought you the creeper. Look, it says it right there. Bring Thomas 1 creeper powder. Yeah, so not one creeper, huh? So I just did all of that for nothing, right? Okay. But the whole point is to make Thomas believe in creepers, right? That's why you gotta bring him the creeper powder. I brought him the whole creeper, right? The whole living creeper. Right here. It's right in front of you, bro. Like, you might want to believe that they exist. It's like, why do I have... Like, oh! I guess I'll have to remove attention to detail from my CV when I apply to flip burgers at McDonald's after my YouTube career inevitably fails because the algorithm hates me and YouTube hates me. And you want to know the best part? You see those coordinates? That's the dead end of the cave. It's the first place I checked when I went to the cave, and there was no creeper powder. It glitched out again. In conclusion, watch my Skyblock video that came out right after this one. This is probably the coolest looking area I've ever seen in Minecraft. And of course it doesn't let me go underwater. I forgot I'm not allowed to have nice things, my bad. Then I kept getting trolled by this quest for half an hour until eventually I found a hidden DLC kitchen that somehow worked the 5th time. And then I was excited to do fishing. But they ruined fishing. You don't even pull the fish. You just, yeah, well. For the next quest, I need some pink wool, which requires level 2 crafting. So let's go to the beach. Yeah, it's the beach OVA. Let's go. I killed a bunch of crabs and sand, and I got enough items so I could do some crafting. And apparently I got way too many of them. But oh well, now I'm level 2 crafting. And you know, funny story, I didn't actually need level 2 crafting. So then I needed a lot of golden currency. The way to get that is by killing these pigmen. And it takes quite a while. So luckily for me, I found out that I can trade all of these emeralds that I don't need for golden currency, so I'm gonna skip a half an hour grind. I'm just kidding, that would make everything too easy. You know what actually happened? Well, yeah, that too, but what happened was that I found out after I did the half an hour grind. I also found out about the pink sheep at spawn that I could have one-shot for the wool that would have taken me 20 seconds. Again, after the grind. Yeah, the grind itself was quite miserable, but then the white girl music came on and I didn't really mind. I was just kind of vibing. By the end of it, I was listening to We Are Charlie Kirk Mandarin Dub Nightcore somehow through my autoplay, but I mean, I'm not complaining. And now I finally got the wool and I finished the quest. There's like 10 more hours of recording. I'm very burnt out and it's not that interesting, so I'm just gonna start on the Skyblock video, which should be out at the same time as this one. I have a massive deal on it and a very tight deadline. But yeah, thanks for being one of the 10% that made it this far, and check out the second channel as well. I'm gonna start uploading there. You should probably subscribe. And let's just hope my channel doesn't die, you know? This is a pretty cool career if I can keep it up. See you in the next one.